Hello again. Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Compact Claustrophobia. So, since the last episode, I haven't done a ton, but I have done a little bit. I went ahead and did some expanding. I actually decided to use this this compact machine that we made last episode, this 9x9x9. I went ahead and decided to use it actually for our tree automation, for our coal coke automation, for HOP graphite. Originally, I was planning on waiting a little bit for that, but due to how long it took to get our initial coal coke, I decided to go ahead and set this up. So you can see right now it's not all set up. We're going to be setting it up this episode. I actually started getting things together and got things prepped up, and I was going to go ahead and set it up, and I was like, well, we'll set it up on camera because we're going to make it kind of... make it so that it manages everything for us, basically. Not super compact, of course, we're in a 9x9x9, but we are running 6 coke ovens, so I went ahead and added 4 more of those. Pipes coming down, bringing our creosote, just like we had basically last episode, and it's all pumping into a reinforced portable tank, which you can see right now we have about 70 buckets of creosote. And right next to it here, we do have another one of these. Been setting up a lot of these, but they're so cheap. They're so cheap at this point to make. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to set up another one. And this is really just going to be used to power one thing. And well, no, a couple things. That this is going to be used to power. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to move through this pretty quickly, get this set up, and then move on to working on miniaturization, because I want to go ahead and start on that this episode. But what we're going to do is, first and foremost, we are going to set up basically where our wood production is going to be. I'm going to come out to about right here. Later on we will expand. This is just going to be making coal coke. And later on we'll probably add like some kind of bone milling effects or something like that. But for right now, we're just going to set up an auto clicker there. Though honestly, part of me wonders if it wouldn't be better just to do this. You know, with Phyto Grow and get our slag set up. Now that we have charcoal, I don't know. I tell you what, I'm going to do some thinking. I'm not really sold for sure that I want the auto clicker. Truth be told, I kind of think, I mean, it would work, and we could make the boron sphalerax or whatever it's called, and that would work fine. But part of me is thinking maybe just getting the phytogenic insulator would be even better. So I'm actually going to do some thinking about that. But honestly, I'm kind of thinking where we're at right now, it wouldn't be that bad. We have to do a little bit of groundwork stuff, but it wouldn't be bad to push into the phytogenic insulator. And part of me is thinking that would be a better bet than doing the clickers. So that might be what we do. I'm going to give it some thought. I am going to set this to sneaking, and then we're going to set it up with an axe here in a minute. And have it breaking the wood for us. But what I'd like to do is, and I've got to get a accumulator, I'm going to go ahead and set up item duct line here, and this is going to pull out from the accumulator. Long term it might be phytogenic insulators, that's fine, it's all pretty much the same. And we're going to run this over to like here. Yeah, right here. And we're going to put in a cache setting right there, and this cache is going to hold just oak wood. And if we set up phytogenic insulators in here, we're just going to be producing oak wood in this room. Now we will be adding all the other wood types, but this room I think is going to run just fine. It'll be simpler just to do oak wood running through this and set it up so it's producing excess, so we are producing our oak wood here, and then we can produce, you know, birch jungle and all elsewhere. And then what I would like to do is I want to put in a redstone furnace here, and we're going to set this up. It's going to be outputting out the top, and it's going to be inputting from the left hand side, auto input enabled. So we should see it's going to pull some oak wood in there and start running. You can see I've already had this thing plugged up, because like I said, I started to plug this thing up or start setting this up, and then I was like, well, I'm going to do this on camera. Leadstone flux duct there, pumping power out from our tiny compact machine into this redstone furnace. And we're going to be pulling that power out to a couple other things here in a second, including our auto clicker. Well, we'll leave it right there for right now. I'm going to run the rest of the power cables in a moment because there's something else we're going to be producing. Now this charcoal that's being produced, what I'd like to do is just set up a cache on top of that where the output is, and we're going to lock that in. So charcoal is getting sent here, and then we're going to put another cache. Let's see, let's just set that up right there. We're going to put another cache on top of the charcoal one, and this is producing coal coke. Okay, now what I'd like to do is I'd like to run a few item ducts here, and we're going to have item duct there. That's going to be the bottom of that coke oven, and we're going to run it down like this. We're going to go ahead and break off that connection. We are going to leave that connection that's plugged up, and we're going to leave those two connections and that connection. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Bring that down, break off that connection and that connection. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be running inputs and outputs. Of course, the fluid is basic setup, just extracting off of any block face on the coke oven is fine. It pulls out the coal coke or the creosote, and then we can access it here. But for this, we're going to be using the same item line that's going to handle our inputs and our outputs for all the coke ovens. And what we're going to be doing is setting up retrievers. These are going to be sitting on the coal coke faces. And then servos, I'm just going to be using reinforced because I've got those made up. They're going to be setting on the charcoal. So then if we just set this to ignore redstone, you can see the charcoal just got pumped out, sent into there, and this has begun running. And of course 6, it's going to take us a little bit to, let's see, we're going to set this to round robin and round robin, and we're going to set the stack size down to like 2. And that's mainly for initially running this so that it kind of sends, charcoal into random coke ovens instead of them all ending up in one, one particular coke oven. And then our retrievers, we're just going to set ignore and ignore. And what retrievers are going to do is they're going to pull the coal coke from all the coke ovens. As you can see, it's basically sending out a signal saying, send me any coal coke that you have, or anything that can go in this slot, which of course is only coal coke. Now normally, we kind of lucked out. Normally the retrievers are more expensive, requiring Eyes of Ender, but in this pack, there's a recipe for blaze powder. So, yay. So now everything's set up, so if this starts producing wood, the wood gets sent over, smelted, charcoal, turned into coal coke, and there's our coal coke, all automatic. And then what I would like to do, I don't know, though, if I want HOP graphite automated, because it's one of those things, we're going to use it a bit early on, but we're not going to use it in an automated sense very much, because I have a plan. I know that there's like the high compact diamond making machine down the road. We will probably set one of those up for fun, but it's really not necessary, because I have a plan for a whole lot easier diamond setup that we're going to be setting up before too long. So I don't know that I really want to automate HOP graphite, but what I want to do is, let's open up this, our heavy machines, our squeezer, and I want to go ahead and set this up. The normal setup has the power on this side, and the input on the back or side, and output out the front. Honestly, that's fine. That's good for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up just like it shows in the diagram. We're going to come over one block though from the wall, and then we're just going to run this out like so. We're going to have our line engineering block there, our fluid pipe there. Let me make sure that we're set up in a good spot for spawning in, and then engineering block, redstone engineering block, then there's the 4 wooden barrels, the 3 steel fences, and the piston Go ahead and get all this stuff out of my inventory. I was honestly tired of holding it, truth be told. Go ahead and position that the right way, and central wooden barrel from the side that has the engineering blocks. There we go. Yeah, this is good. This is good, actually. So it is going to be sitting sideways, but we'll be able to actually see it squeezing with it set up like this, which is honestly fine. And all of the faces that we need are exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run up our leadstone flux ducts. I'm going to run this. Yeah, we'll run it like that. And then we're going to run our flux ducts over like so. Okay. And then what we're going to do, this should have, yeah, this has power. And then we're going to set up, which these caches, these are for something else for this setup. We're going to set it up here in just a second because we're almost done with this setup. But I want to go ahead and get HLP graphite up and going. But let me grab a couple things. Let me grab a hopper and let me grab one of these strong boxes. And what we're going to do, we're going to set up a strong box here. This is going to collect the item outputs. This, of course, is for fluid outputs, which we're not going to be using with this setup. And then we're going to put a hopper in right there. And if we wanted to automate it, we could just extract the coal coke, bring that over. But I think I'd rather just have this be more like manual, at least at the moment. And then we can make a little bit more automation to it. Plus, it'll have to be pulverized because I think the HLP graphite is going to require that we pulverize to make that correct. Yeah. Okay, so now what I want to do, let me grab a stack. Oh, I have two stacks now. Okay, that's perfect. We're going to go ahead and do 2 stacks. We're going to do 2 stacks in 24. Just the most possible amount of HLP graphite we can do at the moment. And then let me go ahead and get this. Oh, this will probably have to be crushed, won't it? In the crusher. Yeah. That's fine. That makes sense, to be honest. Alright, so we'll go ahead and I'll tell you what. Just to make that a little bit easier to use also, since I have these, let me go ahead. Snag that. And we'll set that up. We'll toss in our coal coke and get that running. So that's going to start producing coke dust for us. Oh, and this has a random piece of obsidian already in it. Didn't even realize. Okay, so we're going to let that crush up for a minute. Now, while that's crushing up, that's going to take just a little bit of time. The squeezer should be pretty quick, though. If we open up our quest book, there is this boron spaxel hoe. And I would like to go ahead and get this thing set up. Now, I was thinking that there was that axe is made from steel or diamond, can chop down entire trees in one swoop. But this equipment can mine leaves, wood, and cobblestone. Oh. You know what? I think I was confusing. I don't know if this will work with Vein Miner, because I was thinking I could use it with Vein Miner and an auto clicker, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. We're going to try it because we have to make it for a quest anyways, so we might as well. But I got the two mixed up when I was planning for this, and I don't know how well it's going to work out for us. So we're going to need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 boron. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be that. It'll be that, 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 that. And then we need 2 iron. There is our boron spaxel hoe. And just in case we do need it, since there's a quest for it, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a steel axe also. Oh no. I was looking at the steel axes, and there's one. The immersive engineering one has a lot more durability. And that's the one they want us to make. Yeah, and we use the immersive engineering ingots for it. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, anyways, let's pop over. So if I have this, let's see, shift, left click, and I give it a steel axe. And we say, you know, 2, whatever. Yeah, it's not going to be able to break that. Now, if we were to switch it over to the boron spaxel hoe. Yeah, that doesn't vein mine. We could still automate with some kind of really janky system with like pistons. But honestly, I'm going to say I think just the steel axe. Actually, I know that there's a quest about automating wood here. What do they say? Yeah. All this mess of stuff. If you want to automate wood production, you need a bit of redstone magic, clickers, and fertilizer. I'd recommend a selection of items like these. All you need is to supply power and keep a steady stream of items to plant, fertilize, and harvest with. These 7 easy steps will teach you how to set it up. Place dirt in the middle. Place cobble on all 4 sides of dirt. Place the 2 knot gates facing the same direction in one axis on the cobble. Place 2 clickers facing each other in the other axis on the cobble. Set 1 clicker to right, plus sneak. Put saplings here. The other to right. Put phytogrow here. In the direction the knot gate is facing, place 4 clickers on the wall facing the center, all on left click. Place a spaxel hoe in each. Yeah, so this is just doing 4 pieces of wood per tree, and then using phytogrow as a bone meal. And then just the redstone is just basically telling it when to break and stuff. So that it doesn't break the saplings. Place red alloy wire at the sides of these and connect to the knot gate. Congratulations, you should now have a working wood farm. That's very slow. Crank up the speed on those 4 clickers. P.S. A good tip is for the lowest of the 4 clickers to be slower than the rest. Now for the real challenge of optimizing and automating. Yeah, there's no point in this. There's no point whatsoever in this when we can do photogenic insulators, which is pretty much like the same thing except faster. And I mean, you're going to want phytogrow automated, and we could just automate rich phytogrow and be sitting really, really good on wood. So I don't know. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of value to this. Not to mention it's going to be very, very wasteful on phytogrow, since it's going to take a few, I think. I think phytogrow is bone meal. I don't think it's automatic. So it's going to be, I think, a few pieces. Even if it's just 1 piece of phytogrow, you're still only getting 4 pieces of wood. Then you'll have to, your boron spaxel hoe, you'll want those to get pulled out. Of course, you got 4 of these things running. You'll want those pulled out to be charged or repaired with RF and Essence of Knowledge, so that they don't break, right? Either that or you need basically boron being fed in, which isn't really a big deal, but you need it fed in with at least 6 auto crafters crafting the stuff. Plus sticks and boron and iron input for that. Yeah, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it with photogenic insulators not being expensive. It's not worth it at all. So I'm going to tear this down, actually. I just don't think there's much point in it, and it's not like a really cool or interesting wood farm. It's just a big messy wood farm. Honestly, I think doing something with pistons would be more fun, where the wood gets basically compacted into 1 slot, kind of like the vanilla wood factory type things. Something like that would be a bit more interesting. That's just kind of just a bunch of mess. So what we're going to do probably is just photogenic insulators. It's going to look nicer. It's going to be more compact. It's going to work out better for us. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run out. Of course, I know we have all this leadstone everywhere. Honestly, what I might do for this room, since we're starting to get into larger rooms, is get into immersive engineering power and just run it via cables. Once we get our photogenic insulators set up. Once we get those set up. Which we'll see if we'll get to it this episode. I'm more interested in the miniaturization stuff. That's a little bit more important. And so if we get to photogenics this episode or next episode, I don't know for sure. We'll just set all of that to the side. And we're going to grab our coke dust. And of course we can toss this in, or we can use this. If we don't have a lot of coke dust, might as well just open it and not even use the hopper. You can see it is draining power. That's fine. And you can see the squeezer working here. And you can see it's producing our HOP graphite. Now to produce diamonds, really quick, to get these diamond nuggets, it is blowing up HOP graphite ingots. But these can just be smelted, so that's fine. Now what I want to do while that's running, I've got TNT made. I've got some of that prepped up because I've had to make steel a couple times and I got tired of making it, so I've got like 4 or 5 pieces of TNT already ready to go. But I do want to get the blast furnace up and going soon so that steel is a little bit... We'll probably just set it up for automation at that point. I do believe. You know, I'm also tempted kind of to set up our phytogenics in a compact machine here and just have it pump out the outputs. Yeah, it's probably going to be next episode, because if we do phytogenics, I want to automate rich phyto grow. I don't want to have that, you know, really be a manual thing for us. So, plus we need phyto grow for making leather anyways, so may as well get into that. But what I want to do just really quick is, let's see about some MV wire coil. I've got Electrum made up. We still haven't gotten into aluminum, and there's really no point in going for HV, but MV, or honestly even LV would be fine. What's the... I can't remember the transfer rate, but I think I'd rather set up for MV, truth be told, and that's just because I will end up adding more power to this. Input of 256, each wire can do 248, so it's about double what these leadstone flux ducts can move. But I'm going to go ahead and set up for MV. This is kind of future proofing, so we might as well. We'll need to make our MV wire connectors. That's going to be just the iron and terracotta, and the MV wire relay is just more iron and terracotta. Okay, so there's our terracotta, and we're going to go ahead and get our, oops, there's our wire connectors, our wire relays, and we're going to get our wire coils. Alright, so let's pop back over and let's get rid of all this stuff. That'll be a bit less cables for us, kind of blocking our vision. I'm going to set that there. We'll have an MV wire connector setting there, so that's going to get power. We'll have a wire relay. We'll just run it straight up. Link those two together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a relay on the other side here. That way we've kind of got easy access to the power to kind of bring it down, because of course I'm not insulating this. Of course you can insulate it, but right now it is going to shock me if I touch that. So I don't really care about insulating personally, but I prefer to at least try to set up my wires so that I'm not just bumping into them constantly. Insulating is fine, but I think it's better just to kind of hang them up. It looks better and makes more sense anyways. So we're going to run that down, and we now have power ran over to this. Then let's grab our HOP graphite dust. We got a quest complete. And then they want us to get HOP graphite ingots. That's fine. We're going to throw that in there and get that running. And while that's smelting up, which actually I'm going to pull off these item ducts for right now. Yeah, I'm just going to pull them completely off. I do think our phytogenics, I'm just going to set up a compact machine like right here. That pumps them up out into this cache, you know, the wood. But as you can see right here, even just for one phyto grow, we're still getting more output than that automatic system at a faster rate. Probably. It's probably going to be... Those clickers, I think, could break it pretty quick if we turned up the, you know, the juice on them. But I think it's going to be more power intensive to run those at a decent speed than it is going to be this. And we can produce a lot more wood, because we're going to at least go with the rich phyto grow. I don't know about... Yeah, we'll probably just go with the flux, to be honest. Because, like, this is just going to be lead, silver, copper, gold, redstone. you know, the recipes, I think if the recipes were tweaked a bit harder for stuff like that, then this method would make more sense. But we could make phyto grows actually even before we could do this, to be honest. Anyways, there's our HOP graphite ingots. Quest complete. I think I could blow up in here. So let me grab a piece of our TNT. I'm going to go ahead and just move this, though, slightly. Just to be on the safe side. We'll set up our TNT right here. We'll drop down our HOP graphite. Redstone torch it. We got 3, from all that HOP graphite, we got 3 diamond nuggets. Whew, okay. That's enough, though. That's enough. That's all that we require. Magician's table. Oh, it only takes diamond nuggets in this pack. Okay, that's not so bad. I was like, man, if that takes 2 diamonds, that's going to be super costly at this point. But since we do have diamonds, we can technically really start to refine storage. We can also get the hard carbon pick. I'm not sure what this gives from scavenging. Boron and lithium. Well, I'm still probably just going to go steel and just have an all-around thing. Because as you've seen, specialized picks aren't really that important once we get automatic metals set up. I used them a little bit early on, but only just a couple of them. None of that I'm all that interested in right this second. We will get into it. But what I want to get into is this. I just want to be able to make more rooms cheaper. So for this, we're going to need the redstone torch, compact machine wall, personal shrinking device, and a couple diamonds. So we didn't get our wood to, totally automated this episode. That's fine. We'll probably turn our attention over to that next episode. That is something that I would like to get set up. And the big reason being, as soon as we get that set up, we can start pushing into actually using diamonds for things, because it is going to lead into our automatic diamond system. The HOP graphite is, but we're not actually going to be using HOP graphite for our diamond system. Didn't I pick up the redstone torch? Maybe I didn't. That's fine. I've got another one here. Of course, they're cheap to make, but there's our miniaturization field projectors. And that completes a quest. And then we have the quest for advanced filtering. By harnessing the power of lighting, you can create a more sophisticated filter. What? Have an item with at least 1 million RF charge. Place down a strongbox. Place a simple filter and 4 zombie flesh inside. Right-click with the charged item to harness the power of lightning. Oh, it's lightning. I read it as lighting, but it's lightning and lightning. I advise you to stay back. But it looks like you can also... Oh, you can't make Z-Logic controllers. But there's that. That's kind of nifty. That's neat that there's like a custom way to make those. I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense for the advanced item filter, but it's still really, really neat, like mechanic, I think. But, Ender Pearl, how to automate, though. A few hints if you're fond of program... Oh, yeah, but we'll automate this. It doesn't require open computers. Yeah, well, actually talk about the copy-paste gadget, which can be linked to inventory. That's what I was thinking. Also, if you don't have that, you can use just a piston building system. Because this is not complicated to make. It's just obsidian and a block of redstone in the middle. But we'll do something for that. Not open computers. We'll probably just go with a builder gadget type thing. But what I actually want to do is I want to make our very first compact machine walls through this method. Get to actually use our miniaturization field projector. So this is like 1x2x1. Redstone and iron. Maybe this is minimum size. I can't remember. If we right click that... Yeah, I think we actually need a little bit larger. I think it needs... I think minimum... I can't remember. I think minimum is 5x5 maybe? Maybe that's right. So put that there. Thing is, they're not showing the display. Normally they would show a display. Maybe this room is just not big enough. Yeah, I'm thinking that we're going to have to do it in this room. Which is not great. I may have to move these wires, but I think we could still pull this off. Right, so if we put in that... that. Try to make sure it's centered here. That. And that. Coke oven's in the way. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I think we can do this. I may just have to... I'm not using these really right now anyways, so... If we yank off the edges of the coke ovens, maybe? I don't think we're going to have to move all of this out of the way. I think just certain things. Yeah, still more coke oven in the way. There we go. Now it's working. Okay, and we lost our power connection over there. That's fine. But this is now working. So what we can do is to make the... Let me go dump off my inventory a little bit. Okay, I didn't even sort it. I just dumped it out for right now. If we build this up, we place in our that and our that. There we go. Throw it at that. You can see that it's going to take that, it's going to shrink it down, and it's going to make compact machine walls for us. Perfect. We do that. We throw that over. And we will be automating this. But not in this room, of course, because this room's meant to be a coke oven room. But what I'd like to do... What's it take to make the large compact machine? It's a 5x5x5, 98 compact machine walls, and the ender pearl. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. I'd like to make another one of those today, to be honest. The easy method for making them. And it seems like we're going to have to, at minimum, have this room. Never really thought too much about the space of these. I think you can make it so that it's smaller, maybe in the configs. Because I was thinking that we had it set up on Exoria in like a 5x5 space. Maybe not, but it doesn't really matter either way. Alright, so there's 96. This will be more than enough. There's that. So we have the compact machine walls to make this. It's just 98 of those. But to make our ender pearl, we are going to need 26 obsidian and a block of redstone. And that is... One second here. That is redstone to start it. Okay. Haha, we're going to make another one of these. And then I can set all that back up and we can be back in business after that. Wrong one. I've got a bunch of obsidian. Let me go ahead and just get enough for... Yeah. Let me go ahead and get enough for at least 4 ender pearls. So let's go ahead and just build this out. And actually... This is only going to make a 3x3 space. So ender pearl is really going to be about the best we can do at the moment, it looks like. I think we're going to need a larger room to make the larger... to make, you know, the big one, the 9x9. It does seem like it. Because it all has to fit within this miniaturization field. So this is the bare minimum. Oops. There we go. I thought I was in the middle for some reason. That's going to make us an ender pearl. And presto, there we go. There's an ender pearl. So to make this one requires a 5x5x5. But if we wanted to make just normals, they only require a 3x3x3. So we could make 4 of these, make a large compact. But I think we're going to need the giant compact to make large compacts easier. I'll just go ahead and make one of these though. And that way we can set one of these up and get it kind of automated out. Yeah, let me go ahead and make like 4 more ender pearls because I've got the obsidian and I've got the redstone for that. And then we will be automating this here very, very soon. Because this is something that I would like to get automated, I do believe. But yeah, it seems like in this pack you can't do a smaller than a 3x3 by 3. I thought that you could, like in other packs, maybe not. Like I said, compact machines isn't something that I use too often. You know, outside of a pack like this, because I believe all your stuff should be built visible, like in normal packs. But I know in a 5x5x5 this was not working. So Alright, so there's our 4 ender pearls. Okay, so now at this point, to make the normal compact machine, it is just, we're going to need blocks of gold and then 26 compact machine walls. So regardless, we can make these a whole lot easier, thus being able to make large compact machines a whole lot easier. It takes a little bit to build it out, but once we get one of these, we can turn our attention, you know, like come next episode or whatever, towards automating the creation of this, which would make our lives super easy as we move forward. And there's the last one of those. And then we can put this room back together, because then we won't need this, I don't guess, for right now anyways. Okay, so that's all placed back. Everything's good now. And then if we come out, go into here, we drop these into the melter. Now I'm going to have to make a little bit of modularium for the machine casings, but we do have the compact machine walls, so we're good on that. We just have to make machine casings. I'll probably make a batch of those, I think, between episodes, because if we had a good supply of those set up, then we could just go crazy making compact machines. But being able to make more of these is going to be nice. Okay, there's our modularium. There is our normal machine pieces. Then we'll get our large compact machine, drop that into there, and then we'll just pop in, set up our miniaturization, field projectors, there, there, there. And if you right click, you can see one goes right there. So there we go. And there's that. Okay. Now next episode, when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and just build this up, because I am going to be using this a little bit between episodes. Let me actually grab a little more cobble. Okay, it's actually been a while since the last cut. I was actually doing I was getting ready to do an outro at where I cut, you know, on the last bit of footage. Did the outro, and then I decided, because I spent, you know, a couple days here. It's been a couple days since the last cut, and I've just been kind of doing some cleanup. As you can tell, I'm tired of every room looking like a compact machine. I'm tired of everything being kind of a mess. So I have spent a couple days working on just organizing and getting things sorted. I did set up a garden cloche room, which we're going to take a look at next episode, but I know it's already pretty close to wrapping up point, so I want to wrap this up pretty quick. We will take a quick look at that next episode. I did set up a cloche that's just producing industrial hemp in our new farming area, which we'll take a look at next episode, the way that the base is organized and stuff. Plus, as we begin getting ready for refined storage, I wanted to make sure things were organized and in more of a permanent placement, because we've been doing a lot of like temporary placement and bouncing around and all that. So I've been trying to clean things up, make them look nice, and make them not feel so compact machine-ish. And so it's not... I'm trying to move away from the compact claustrophobia and more like compact comfort at this point. So you can see I have spruced this room up. I'm basically using a lot of laboratory blocks, factory blocks, and then the walls are just wool. There was about 2 stacks of wool there. Thus the reason I need to set up the cloche for the hemp. But cloches are pretty straightforward. We've set them up a million times, so I just set one of those up. But we will be doing a bit with those in the coming episodes, now that we have a proper farming area. Like, the old farm is gone. It's completely gone now. So we'll be taking a look over there next episode. But you can see I've started sprucing things up. So just kind of a small teaser, and we'll take a closer look around the base come next episode. I have decided that we're going to have... This room is our 3x3x3 compacting room, and we're going to have a 5x5x5 compacting room. We're going to, even though we could technically do the 3x3x3 recipes in the 5x5x5 setup, I do want to have 2 dedicated rooms, just so we have less automation set up, since it's less cluttered, you know, once everything is done. Now this room does have a couple blocks underneath it that's not used, and a block above it that's not used, because there was no point in having the same height as the room size, right? For this, so this is really just more for looks, but everything is a lot more accessible. We can compact things, so I just kind of wanted to give you guys a small teaser. So a lot to look forward to next episode. I think we're going to start making things look nice and work well, and start moving into some advanced automation and making our lives just a whole lot easier. Next episode, the two major things, we'll probably do some other smaller things depending on where we are on time. But the two major things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on phytogenic insulators, working on getting those set up, and we are going to be working on automating our compact machine miniaturization. Mainly for right now, I think the ender pearls, the normal compact machines probably, because I have made a couple of those since the last episode, a handful of them. I'm going to make some more, and I know that moving forward there'll be some cases where I just don't need the massive ones, and I do want to get the normal ones automated, and I want to automate compact machine walls. Those three things will be what's automated here, I think. I don't think anything else is really worth us automating, because anything smaller than a normal takes the exact same amount of materials. The only difference is instead of gold, it may be iron or nothing. But we can just scale the room to whatever size that we need it. There's really no point in making 3x3s or 5x5s, I don't think. At this point, we'll just go 7x7 or up for pretty much everything, because that's where really the material differences are as far as creating those, right? So that's what we'll be working on starting next episode. It may take 2 episodes. There's a couple things we have to do for our phytogenic insulator automation, and automating this miniaturization should be pretty quick, honestly. It's pretty simple to do. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out, and I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.